Hi everyone, my name is Cortney. I'm the collections technician for the Human History Department at the Manitoba Museum, and today I'm going to talk to you all about our Hong Kong Veterans Collection. The Winnipeg Grenadiers was a Winnipeg-based battalion that was initially sent to Jamaica on the onset of World War II. They returned to Winnipeg in October of 1941, and after a very short furlough, they made their way to the British colony of Hong Kong. On December 8th of that year, the Japanese descended on Hong Kong, and a 17-day battle ensued. On Christmas Day of 1941, the Allied forces capitulated and the battle was declared over. The Canadian and British soldiers were then taken prisoner, both in Hong Kong, and many of them were then shipped out to Japan to work in various prisoner of war camps across the country. Lots of men died in the Battle of Hong Kong or in the camps themselves, but the survivors wanted to tell their story and share their story with others, so they formed an organization called the Hong Kong Veterans Association. One really interesting thing about this collection is that it highlights the conditions that these men were living in for the 44 months that they were in captivity. The first item I want to bring to your attention is this shoe. This was issued by the Japanese government to a POW named Tom Forsyth. Tom embroidered his initials on the side of the shoe. They also were issued Japanese-style underwear and so on. And on display in our Winnipeg gallery, you can see a pair of regular briefs worn by a warrant officer who did not want to wear the Japanese underwear, and he continually over the years mended his underwear so that he could continue wearing it throughout the rest of their time in the POW camp. They had to get really, really creative with the things that they were using in order to survive. Another really good example of that is this. So this object here is a replica of a hot water heater that Corporal Alex Henderson had made while he was in the Sham Shui Po prisoner of war camp in Hong Kong. This particular object was replicated by him upon his return to Canada so that he could show people, some of the adaptations that the POWs had to go through in order to live a semblance of a comfortable life while they were in those camps. While the prisoners of war were in the camps, depending on where they were located throughout Japan, they would be put to work. So this is an example of a hook that would have been used by men working as sort of as stevedores, so unloading cargo ships at a port city. This has been broken. We can see that it's no longer complete, but we do have examples of hooks like these in our collection as well as on display in our Winnipeg gallery. Conditions in the camp were really difficult, and a number of men died as a result of disease, illness, and also accidents and so on, either related to the conditions of the camp they were in or their work. During World War II, smoking was a big recreational activity for a lot of men, and they were given rations of tobacco while they were in the camps. The pipes that they would be using to smoke would be Japanese-style pipes, and we can see this one here that he has customized with some spare yarn that he found as well. So while returning to Canada was a huge relief for a lot of the soldiers that were interned in prisoner of war camps during World War II, a lot of these men continued to suffer from illness, disability, and other trauma-related issues once they came home. This collection is a great way to share their story and to tell the story, especially as it's a very little-known part of Canadian history. I thank you so much for joining me today as I talk to you about this difficult topic. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments and hopefully we can answer them.